If you're thinking of signing up for Seeking Alpha, you need to watch this review first. On the surface, it looks like the ultimate research edge that you need to find winning stocks and build a more profitable portfolio. But after testing it for months, I found some powerful features that can transform your investing and some critical truths about its reliability that you absolutely need to know about before subscribing. But before anything else, let's get one thing straight right now. Who is Seeking Alpha actually for, and more importantly, is Seeking Alpha reliable? The truth is, Seeking Alpha isn't for the casual investor who just buys index funds, but it does make things a little bit more simple than using tools to spend hours in finding more precise stocks and ETFs and index funds. So this platform does have one specific target user in mind, and that is the active, self-directed investor who does their own deep research to understand why they want one specific stock or one specific index fund, but doesn't want to spend an immense amount of time looking in different places and wants a single area to find everything they need. It's for the investor who needs more insight and diverse opinions than what they usually get from standard financial news. Think about the long term investor building their portfolio, the dividend hunter looking for stable income, or the trader who wants to validate their ideas with fundamental analysis. They've built their entire service around the actual investor, offering a massive library of articles from thousands of contributors to look through and look at their opinions and see opposing opinions. But is Seeking Alpha a reliable source? Well, unlike other platforms that just give you one perspective, Seeking Alpha delivers crowdsourced insights from nearly 20,000 independent analysts and investors. So it's not that you trust one of them over another, is you have a very broad range of opinions to look through and find what you agree with and whether you agree with their reasoning. They provide powerful tools like quant ratings and portfolio tracking, which are specifically designed for investors who want data-driven decisions. And most tellingly, they offer transparency through analyst performance tracking, which is exclusively for the investor who wants to verify the credibility of the research sources. It has all of these features and more, and we're about to get into it, but don't just take my word for it about any of this. When you actually look at the Seeking Alpha reviews, when you've looked through them, when you look at the comments, you see a story about Seeking Alpha and its worth and its reliability that becomes even clearer. So take this one investor, for example. He said that with over 5 decades of trading experience, he gave Seeking Alpha a try because he realized his trading results were lousy online, and he called Seeking Alpha a revelation and said using their tools has produced consistent results that he never achieved before. He highlighted that he's now seeing the chance for doubling his account almost every year. Wow, that's some optimism. I also came across this Seeking Alpha review from a trader who said the platform is ideal for his type of investing, which involves a very thorough review every quarter. He also didn't hold back about their customer support, saying the staff is very responsive when contacted. Now, when you compare Seeking Alpha with a competitor like Zacks, the difference in their core purpose becomes crystal clear. Zacks is fantastic for its quantitative models and data-driven signals, but Seeking Alpha stands out by delivering real-time, crowd-driven market insights from thousands of independent analysts, giving investors a broader range of opinions instead of relying mainly on one research methodology. And on Reddit, I saw traders talking about why they prefer this approach. When a Redditor asked about Seeking Alpha's reliability to know if Seeking Alpha is worth it, one reply came from a user who stated that Seeking Alpha is one of the best sites on the internet to get ideas about what stocks or funds to consider. He said the depth of articles there greatly exceeds anything on Reddit or Yahoo. Another user who had experience with the platform gave a telling response as well. He explained that it can be a good source of ideas, but like anything else, you have to do your own research. So yeah, that tells you everything. Like, if you're an investor who values diverse perspectives, some deep commentary, and a community to challenge your assumptions, along with a lot of other tools, then Seeking Alpha is in a league of its own. It's built for the investor who sees their research platform not just as an information source, but as a collaborative workshop. Now that you know who Seeking Alpha is for, let's get into the specific features that make it so powerful, and the hurdles that you absolutely need to be ready for. The first thing that hooked me was their Quant Ratings and Factor Grades. This is the cornerstone of Seeking Alpha's data-driven approach. It's an objective, unemotional evaluation of each stock based on hard data like financial statements, price performance, and analyst estimates. Each stock gets an overall quant rating from strong buy to strong sell. But the real magic is in the 5 factor grades: value, growth, profitability, momentum, and EPS revisions. I used this to quickly spot stocks that were strong in value and momentum, but weak in growth, which saved me from making bad investments like really early on. It's a quick way to instantly see what you can sort through and what you can dive more deeply into. But data is useless if you can't actually act on it or track it, right? And that's where the portfolio management tools really come in handy. You can create your own portfolio to track the stocks that you follow. You can get email alerts and you can get push notifications. And I found this useful for staying on top of my watch list without constantly checking prices. Like if I went out and I wanted to see things on my phone and get a notification. And for people who want a more unified view and see everything all at once you get that notification, you can actually then link your brokerage account really easily. So linking my account was a really simple process, gave me this really at a glance view of my portfolio's health right inside the research platform, and then I can click to where the notification came from. So initially, I was actually concerned a bit about safety, but they actually partner with Plaid and Snaptrade, which are the leading financial data aggregators. So they're at the top of their game in terms of security, as much as any company can be secure these days. So your information is fully encrypted. Seeking Alpha never has access to your brokerage credentials, and all the security measures, the normal ones, are used. So this security, this depth, these tools, this community is what a lot of users have been raving about on these reviews and on social media. Here's a review I saw from a premium subscriber who said that the layout allows him to quickly look at a stock and to determine its value, its growth, its risk, its momentum. He called the Quant score a really good quick assessment tool and was surprised that the overall price was less than he expected. So, without a doubt, Seeking Alpha Pro is well worth it, at least according to a lot of these reviewers. Now, if you're skeptical about analyst credibility, and let's be honest, every smart investor should be at least skeptical about individuals, if not groups of people, the analyst transparency feature is really a beast for that. You can look deeply into their own history and their own predictions, so you can verify any analyst's quality by going through their profile page and seeing their rating history and their performance of their past article calls. So whenever a Seeking Alpha analyst, like let's say, publishes, they have to declare their position on the stock. This transparency really lets you see if an analyst has a proven track record before you trust their advice and follow it. Next, let's not forget the ETF screener. So I've used screeners on a lot of other platforms, but Seeking Alpha's ETF screener, it's easy to help you pinpoint the market's most compelling ETFs for your specific strategy really quickly. It doesn't just use basic filters either. It incorporates those deep quant ratings and the factor grades that we talked about, so you can sort by those, and it makes things even easier to sort. I found it especially useful when building the core of my long-term portfolio. Helped me find ETFs that were strong on value and profitability. And I didn't want to do this review without talking about Alpha Picks, which is one of Seeking Alpha's most premium tools. This gives you 2 high-conviction stock picks each month based on their deepest quantitative research. So unlike most services that give you just endless ideas, this is one service that just focuses on quality over quantity, which makes Seeking Alpha Picks really interesting and a useful tool when they're using their own research and their own analysts and their own data and their own criteria to only pick 2 stocks per month, which a lot of people follow, and the numbers of its profitability over the S&P are actually really interesting. But here's another user review I found that highlighted this. He had Seeking Alpha Premium for 3 months so far and was very impressed. He specifically said their stock screeners and quant ratings beat the S&P on a consistent basis based on his investment in them. He liked it so much that he told a friend who also was extremely satisfied by their experience. And for the real research enthusiasts among you who want to actually see deeper into the data, there's the virtual analyst reports. If you're into AI-powered research or you want quick, comprehensive snapshots before you look more deeply into an individual stock, this is your gateway. This uses artificial intelligence to generate concise reports on quant-related stocks so you can more quickly look through all of this information. But of course, with all of these tools and all of this different stuff, there's got to be something wrong with it, right? There's no platform that's going to be perfect. There's always nitpicks and negative reviews here and there that you can find. And with this, I didn't find many, but there are a few things that you should be aware of. So in my deep dive into Seeking Alpha reviews, I came across this review of a user who complained about the platform's performance for them, saying that while the data is first rate, the website and apps can sometimes feel slow and clunky at times. So I can understand how that can be frustrating if you're trying to research quickly and it's during market hours. You're trying to make it for a certain trade. This didn't happen to me though, and in my experience, this might be like the trade-off for having such a feature-rich platform, or it might be a Wi-Fi issue, but it's usually not a persistent issue either way, and I only ever noticed it when users mentioned that it happened during peak market hours. So is this kind of thing a deal breaker? For me, no. While its occasional slow performance or the platform kind of being slow for someone might be like annoying, it's not the core research experience, and the tools themselves behave well, and also the team responds to feedback and it's improving all the time. The quality and depth of analysis is where it counts, and even if you don't follow the ideas of an individual commentator or a random community member, the fact that the forums are there, that the people are there, that the service is there, Seeking Alpha has a lot of different tools to use, that's really where that counts in investment decisions, in where you actually make your money. And that's what most serious investors care about. That's where Seeking Alpha consistently gets high marks in terms of the quality of its tools and people's response to that. When it comes to cost, Seeking Alpha's pricing is actually very competitive, especially for serious investors. They have a free version that gives you basic access and article limits, and you get to use all the tools, basically, which is great for getting a feel for the platform without them giving you everything. When you're ready to go premium, their subscription rates provide some good value for the depth of research that you get. Compared to many other professional research platforms, you can access more diverse insights, which adds up quickly for active investors, and you also have access to a lot of their tools which are not on many other platforms. So if you want to check out the current Seeking Alpha subscription rates and any active promotions that they're currently offering, make sure to check that link in the description of the video. We try to keep it updated so that you can get the best possible deal, save the most amount of money. So what is my final verdict in this Seeking Alpha review? Well, if you're a serious active investor and you're frustrated with the limitations of basic research platforms, I think Seeking Alpha is absolutely worth a try. It's a platform that can grow with you as your investing skills evolve, but also give you some great ideas and allow you to interact with a community that's been involved with investing for decades at this point. So make sure to check the link in the description of this video to get started and check it out.